LM Studio lets you run powerful AI models right on your computer. It's totally local, it's totally private, and it's completely free. But imagine if it could take action for you online and not just sit inside of a text box. What if it could open up a web browser for you, or grab the latest headlines, or pull an RSS feed? What if it could go to Google Maps and find a great restaurant near an address you gave it? Wouldn't that be crazy? Well, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it. And please stick around until the end because I'll show you where you can find hundreds of tools that you could stitch together to turn LM Studio into your own customizable local AI command center, all completely free. Before we get started, I just want to say if you like this video, please go ahead, give it a thumbs up, and definitely subscribe to the channel. I want to see you back here again. And if you have a question, leave me a comment. I'll definitely answer it. I love hearing from you guys. Now, let's jump in. Let's talk about what an MCP is. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. And it's basically giving AI models the ability to use real tools in a safe and structured way. Think of it like this. Normally, a model just predicts text. It can talk, but it can't actually do anything. MCP changes that. It lets you define tools, things like a browser or an RSS reader or a Google Maps client, a database, a file system, whatever. And the model can call those tools just by describing what it wants to happen. The tools run the real code, they return the real data, and LM Studio feeds that back into the model so it can decide on the next steps. Now, it's not a plugin marketplace, it's not a hack, it's a standard protocol that's becoming increasingly popular in the last year that any AI tool or app can speak to. So if you drop an MCP into LM Studio, that local model instantly gains a new ability. It can browse, it can fetch data, it can automate tasks. And when you enable multiple tools, the model can even chain them together, sometimes automatically. So that is what an MCP is. It's a universal way for AI models to interact with real software safely and privately, and with LM Studio, locally. Okay, well, before we look at LM Studio, we need to install the software, and the place you get it is you just go to lmstudio.ai. Once you're here, there's a lot to look at, but all you really need to do is click this big blue button that says download for Mac. If you're on a PC, it'll say download for Windows. You just download it, you install it, and then you're up and running. So it's just like any other application. So now let's look at LM Studio. Okay, now we're in LM Studio. The first thing you'll notice is there's really not a lot to look at in the beginning. We don't have any models installed. And so that's really the first step we have to do. It's actually super easy. You just click this magnifying glass on the left, and it'll show you all the models that are available to use. We're going to use Qwen 30B. It's this one here. Now, one of the things you'll notice is there's this little thing that it looks like a hammer, and it says tool use. That's important for this video. And what that means is it can call other services, namely through an MCP, that then can interact with the model and through the LLM. If it doesn't have that, like so say for instance this one that just says vision only, that means it's not going to be able to do any things we're talking about here. So the model we're going to use is Qwen 3 VI 30B. So we're going to use that one in a new chat. You want to turn your context window all the way up. That's important for tool use. So let's start. Okay, so we have Qwen 3 VL30B loaded now, and basically now that it's running in memory, we can type something like hello, and you'll see it answers just like any other LLM. Now, of course, if I say like, what is the headline on CNN.com, it's going to be unable to do it. I can't provide it because it doesn't have access to the internet. Okay, so that is the problem we're trying to solve. So how do we do it? Well, there's this little plug down here. This is the MCP integrations. So we're going to install one. So you click install, and all you're really doing is editing this file. It's called mcp.json. And what we're going to do is we're going to add something that's going to allow the LLM, Qwen 3 VL30B, to talk to our web browser. So we'll do that now. Okay, so we're hitting this little squiggly thing here. We're going to put in, and I'll provide links to this, but there's something called Playwright. Playwright lets you sort of orchestrate and control a web browser programmatically. In fact, if you look here on their website, playwright.dev, it enables reliable end-to-end testing for modern web apps. So it's an open source piece of software that lets you control a web browser. It's used by a lot of companies, including Disney and Adobe and a bunch of others. So anyway, That's what we're going to use here. And the way we use it is by just putting this command in here, npx node package execute. That's what it stands for. So it's basically executing a node package. It's not just installing one. So that's in here now. It's going to install Playwright. We're going to hit save. It says it's been added. Now we'll go back over here and we'll ask it again, the same question. See, we'll paste it and you'll see it still won't work. And you're going to find out why in a second. I'm sorry, I don't have access to the internet. Now we go down here and we're going to turn on this Playwright thing. So we've turned it on. So now let me actually show you. If I go to this over here, you'll see there's this tool that's installed called Playwright. And it has all these things it could do: browser close, browser resize, console messages, handle. This is basically all of the tools that this MCP has that it is being exposed to the LLM. So basically, the LLM will decide which tool it's going to call, and it actually provides like documentation to it as it does each of these things. So it'll know like which one to use. So I'm going to put that in again. What is the headline on CNN.com? And let's not be political, but I bet it's a political headline. Ready? Here we go. Okay, so now it worked. And it knew that it was going to use the tool called Browser Navigate. So I'm going to hit proceed. Now, of course, I can set these to work all the time, so I don't have to click this button every time, but we're going to do that now. And you'll see Chrome will open up. I hit agree. It's processing the prompt. So the main headline: Supreme Court will agree to decide Trump, blah, 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 blah. So basically it worked. So like now LM Studio can browse the web for us and do things. So I can take this screen here, this browser, and put it away. And now I could just ask it questions. So let's try, what is the headline on CNBC.com? Different website. So it's going to navigate to CNBC.com and check the headline for us. So there it goes. It says, I can see the headline on CNBC.com. The main headline is S&P 500 closes higher, notching 4-day win streak, blah, 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 blah. So if we go here, is that indeed what it said? There's, so I don't know if it's the definite headline, but it was the story. Cool. So that is how you could have it do things on the web. So let's try something a little different. Let's say, okay, I'm saying go to weather.com and take a screenshot and show it here. So let's see if this works. So it says, I'll navigate to weather.com, take a screenshot for you. Proceed. Okay, so what I said is navigate to weather.com, take a screenshot and display the image here. Do not try to describe the image, just display it. Also provide me with the path. So basically what it did is it navigated over to weather.com. It got this result here. Then it went ahead and took the screenshot, and it says, the path of where it stored it and everything. This is all like in its internal result. And then it rendered it on the page, which is perfect. And then it gave me the path, which is like, this is actually where the file is stored if I want to look at it or save it on my own. So that's pretty amazing. So basically, what else can we do with Playwright? That's a good question. These are the various things you can do. You can close the browser, resize it, look at the console messages, upload files, fill out forms. So you could theoretically be like, hey, go put this zip code in on this page, navigate forward and back, run code, take screenshots, click, drag, hover. So basically you can like move the website around. You could sort of write code in the LLM that'll let you like navigate the site and do different things. And obviously you could just go there yourself if you wanted to, but it's really interesting that you're able to do it agentically through the LLM. And you can start to do some interesting things when you add a bunch of these together. So let's look at the next one that I have. Okay, so we're going to go back in here again, and then we're going to install our next MCP. So basically, you just got to pay attention to these squigglies. It tells you kind of where you are. So we're going to put a comma because it means there's another one coming, and then this is the one we're going to do. So there's an RSS reader. Cool. So RSS Reader MCP. So we're going to save it. Now that we have the RSS reader, we're going to do it. Let me close this. We're going to do a new chat. And we're going to close Playwright. And this time we're going to do the RSS reader. So now let's see, like, what does the RSS reader have? Well, it can fetch feed entries and it could fetch article content. Great. So I could say, go to ycombinator.com and get me the top 20 posts today. Let's see if we can do it. Now that should be able to do it through RSS. And it's a little easier than navigating a whole website. So again, I'm going to hit proceed. I've attempted to fetch it up, but the request returned a 404. Interesting. Oh, it's because it's news.ycombinator. That's my bad. All right. So yeah, I gave it ycombinator.com. I meant news.ycombinator. So, and these are all like links. So I can say, I can't remember what the terminology was. Article content. Okay, so I'm going to say, get me the content for number 4. Gemini 3 Pro, the frontier of vision AI. Let's see if it can do it. So it knew which one. I just said number 4. So that's like the LLM being smart enough to know what I was talking about. And there it goes. And there you have it. So that's the whole article. And so we did that all through the RSS reader. I just think it's amazing. So basically, I think that's great. Now, let's try. Let's just see. Let's see. I'm going to say use Playwright and take a screenshot and display the image here. Do not describe the image. Let's see if this works. I'm saying use Playwright to take a screenshot and display the image here. Now this is like, this may or may not work, but I know I could get it if I was more specific. But you got to mess with these things a little bit. But I'm like basically like now kind of orchestrating 2 MCPs together through LM Studio. Let's see if it works. See if it even knows what I'm talking about. It might not work because I didn't have Playwright when I started this chat. I don't know if it matters. Okay, it did call it. It navigated there. And I think there's a way that we could tell it to not actually open Chrome and just run it in what's called headless so that you don't actually see the browser. It's taking the screenshot. Okay, drum roll, please. 97%. Let's see, will it display the screenshot? Boom. So there you have it. So basically, we use the RSS reader from Y Combinator, news.ycombinator.com. We used context to say, like, get me the content for number 4. It had to know what we were talking about, which it did. And then we turned on the Playwright MCP, and it went and visited the site and was able to get the screenshot to display for us. So I think that's pretty amazing. And there's like hundreds of these things. So we're going to do one more real quick. All right, well, the one more we're doing is Google Maps. Google Maps has an MCP. This is, you have to provide it with an API key. So, oh my God, this is my API key. I will definitely, I hope I remember to cycle this key out before I put this video up. Otherwise, I will get a huge Google Maps bill, but I'm pretty sure I'll remember. But anyway, you can get your own key. I'll put a link in the description on where to get the keys. It's not like very much money. It's not going to cost anything for what I'm doing. But basically, this is because you're going to talk to Google Maps API here, and this will allow you to do it. So I've saved that. I'm closing this. So let's do one more. Okay. Turning off Playwright, turning off RSS feeder. And we are going to turn on Google Maps. So again, we're going to look at what are the tools that are available for Google Maps. It's geocode, reverse geocode, search places, places detailed, distance matrix, elevation, directions. So let's try. This will be, I think this will be pretty cool. We'll say, give me the top 5 coffee shops that are close to Rittenhouse Square in Philadelphia, somewhere I used to live. So let's see. I'm not sure it'll get the right ones that I'm thinking of, but let's see if it does it. So it says model wants to call maps search places, and it knew the latitude and longitude. So it did that. It didn't get the one I wanted, but I haven't been there in years, so maybe it's no longer highly rated. But there was one called La Colombe that was very close. Anyway, that's actually, some of these aren't really all that close. Yeah, I could. I wonder if I could restrict it to say within 0.25. Let's say within 0.15 miles. Let's see if that works. Because I was looking for a very specific coffee shop that I was shocked that didn't show here, but I realized now some of these are actually quite far away from where I specified. Okay, well, whatever. You get the point. So basically, if I wanted to say, here's a good one. Like, I want to say, like, what do you know about this one? What do you know about Mattis Coffee Roasters? Let's see what it can get us. There's got to be something it knows. So it says wants to call place details, and it gives it the place ID. Now you can like just hit enable permanently. I'm just showing you that you have to do it, but once you turn it on all the time, then it won't be annoying like that. And boom. So just like that, you have all this information, the hours of operation, etc. And we are in LM Studio, so you don't need a cloud service. You can do this all on your computer. I think it's absolutely amazing. I love this stuff. So I'm going to show you now where to get these models. So there's a few different like directories of places to get MCP servers and clients. MCP SO is one of the places I looked. They have a bunch of featured MCP servers. You could see all this stuff here. A lot of different things. Like you get time, you could look at databases. Redis is key value storage. Perplexity, which you guys know probably, can do like news and all kinds of stuff. Time-based things, search. So there's a gazillion of these, and you can just add them in. All you need to know is you have to see like that part of the code that I was showing you where you go here and you install these. You just have to look for this. Like it's in the documentation of these. So if you find that documentation, you'll see, like I bet Playwright is in here somewhere. Type play. Is this one? Playwright MCP? Yeah. So there you have it. I believe that's what we had. Yes. So they give you these little configs and you just copy it inside this file. You hit save. You got to watch your commas and your little squigglies to make sure everything's nested properly. It's called a JSON file. And if you don't know how to do it, you can just copy and paste this to ChatGPT and it'll help correct your formatting. Pretty easy. Do not steal my API key. I'm gonna cycle that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I think it's pretty amazing. I think the MCPs are, first I didn't know what the hell they were, but I think they're really, really impressive. And the fact that you can use them now inside of LM Studio with some of the most advanced models, again, just keeps pushing to this like open source model, and you don't need to pay these big cloud providers. And you can kind of create exactly what you want. Maybe you have a specific use case where you just want to wake up and get the weather and get a screenshot of a page or whatever, and you can do all that through LM Studio and make exactly what you want. I think LM Studio is amazing. I think it's here to stay. And the more stuff they add on, like the fact that it can now do tool calling through these MCPs is absolutely amazing. So I'm a big fan. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please go ahead, give it a thumbs up if you did. Leave me a comment if anything was confusing or you want me to do something else. And also, if you're not subscribed right now, subscribe to the channel. I want to see you back here again next time. I really love hearing from you guys. But thanks so much for watching. Catch you next time.